cruddy welds going on here, but I think I got enough good weld on there to hold everything. So I got this roll-off in here today, and as you can see, it's kind of shaped like a horseshoe. Bowed out on this side, smashed in on this side. Reason I got it in here today is because the bowing and all that, and being beaten repeatedly, and some I don't know repairs have made it where the door won't shut and latch. I had to put this strap on here this summer just to get it back to the yard, just to keep the door shut so I could get her home. You can see it's been beaten on. People in there loading the tank, like with the skid steer, they'll come over here, they'll crawl on it with the tire. We don't normally charge for repairs like that. I wish we would, but if you watched any of my other roll-off repair videos, door latch repair videos, you can see that these tanks are very poorly built, very poorly designed. There's no stringers underneath. These weren't welded. They weren't welded on the outside here. The wall wasn't welded to the floor. So they're pretty flimsy, and they jiggle a lot. The doors come open. So you've seen in some of my last videos, I put like a pipe on here. It acts kind of like an over center. With a little bit of begging and crying, I was able to convince my boss to spring for some of these ratchet binders. So I'm gonna do something like that. I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna cut this old latch off. Gonna have to grind the paint off to weld this. I think I'm gonna weld one side to the tank, and then I'll put a chain on the door. I wonder if I couldn't use the safety chain, but I think the safety chain needs to be separate. I think we'll do that, just put a couple links on there, just something to grab onto. I've never mounted one of these for a tank like this, so I'm just still kind of going through the planning phase. You got to be careful where you mount it to, because this could be right up against like a piece of plate or something, and you're never gonna shorten that up or that. It's just gonna sit and fight you the whole time. And if you look, the tines stick up a little bit, so it's always gonna be fighting you. Put a plate on the tank, weld this to the plate. That'll help distribute whatever the force is. I guess the metal was a little bit dirtier than I thought. I started getting some of that porous looking stuff right away. I think the right thing to do would have been to grind it off and redo it, but I just cranked the heat and melt it in. I hope it holds. Well, let's go look on the other side, see if I got any penetration at all. Oh, it looks like I got some penetration there. That should be good enough. Before I weld this, I should probably make sure it fits inside the hook. And that hook there, I can use to pull bungees down on, hook bungees on that. Well, this chain's been stretched. Probably should go in the scrap bin, but it should hold the door shut. Look at that. That's what happens when you really stretch a chain. Links, they crush in like that. So this metal on the back side of the door here, it's pretty tinny too. Look how thin that is. It's just super weak. I'm afraid if I just weld the chain right to it, again, it's just gonna peel off once that weld starts to crack, or if it gets stressed, it's just gonna peel. I don't know, it's gonna be going around a corner, so maybe it might help it a little bit. But I guess what I'm gonna do is just like I did on the side, I'm gonna buff some of this paint off here. I'm gonna weld some heavy piece of metal, and then I'm gonna weld the link to that, and that'll spread out the weld and the holding area. This door's actually sprung right now, but I think eventually put that chain binder on there, pull it in, and they start beating on it, it'll probably go out, back out the other way. So there you have it. Should hold pretty good. Yeah, it actually holds that door really tight. And then once they beat on the tank and all that, it should always be able to grab a link and then still get the door shut. Anyhow, thanks for your time.